everybody. Welcome to our Team Dare to Dream Big call tonight. If you just got on, please go ahead and mute your line so that we don't have any ambient sound. But I'm really excited to feature our special guest tonight, my dear friend, Jen Arias. Before we get to Jen, I want to... Okay, who's playing their guitar? All right, before we get to our guest speaker, I wanted to just remind you of a couple things. We are rounding up the month of August, and we only have a couple more days of our What to Post workshop, and I know you guys have been enjoying that, and I hope that you are learning to get a feel for what to post. That's the point of the workshop. It's not something that's designed to, you're not going to get it every day for the rest of your life type of thing. It's designed to start teaching you how to put together good posts and show you the ease that some of the posts can be very, very simple. Others, like your Transformation Tuesday or your Throwback Thursdays, I mean, that's all you. I mean, you put those together. So I'm hoping that you've been taking good notes, and we are going to have all of these posts in a document so that they can be referred to again. And we'll do another one sometime soon so that we have another set of 21-day posts. So I hope that that's been very helpful for you guys. Such great rank advancements today. They were all recognized on the team page, and I'm not going to go over them just in case I missed somebody, but I did want to recognize Megan Jensen on achieving Diamond today. That's a very huge goal, and she just signed up in February. So she hit it faster than I did. Not that it's a race or anything, but I'm really super proud of her for doing that. And I know so many of you are also aiming for that. I know, and super close as well. We do have, let's see, next week we have a live business opportunity on Wednesday. So we're finishing up our sneak peek this week. And if you've got coaches or you've got prospects in that sneak peek, make sure you're following up with them, because I'm not. If your prospects are yours to work with and communicate with, so you should be sending them private messages, asking them what they like most about what they're learning. Don't ask them what they think. Ask them what they like most. That's the key question. So with that, I want to go ahead and turn it over to Jen, because I know she's got some great stuff prepared. And I just want to give just a little intro. I know I've already introduced her, but Jen and I became success partners a couple years ago. And it's funny, I should let her tell the story, but actually Kelly Nyforth, my sponsor, was in one of Hillary Kelly's personally sponsored coach groups. And I had asked Kelly to if she knew anybody that would make a good success partner for me. And so she went into this personally sponsored coach group and asked, hey, Deborah, she's, kind of an up and comer. Does anybody want to be her success partner? And it was kind of like Jen's the only one that offered, I think, but it was I actually had my eye on her already. And so whenever we connected, I told her there was a couple of coaches and Team on Fire that I had my eye on, and she was definitely one of them. So it's been a wonderful friendship ever since. And I'm telling you, being able to meet one of your best friends all over the world, like places like Cancun and on a cruise and Vegas and Nashville, that's like really, really fun. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jen and let her steal the show.
Thank you, Deb. That was super sweet intro. And, obviously I became success partners with you years ago, and you just blew me out of the water here. So kudos to you too for all of your success. And I'm just so thankful and happy that we've met in general and that we've become such great friends. I'm going to start by sharing my desktop because I have some slides that I'll use to go over kind of my story and share a little bit about the topic tonight, which is being a Beachbody coach with a full-time job. So this is a bunch of pictures I just put on my intro slide just to show you I've been involved in Beachbody for 5 years now. I pretty much joined as a coach right when I got started on my own weight loss journey. And I joined for the discount. as a lot of coaches do. And I have a lot of coaches on my team that are discount coaches. But it didn't take long before I started getting results that people started asking me how I was getting these results, what I was using, what I was doing, and it became a no-brainer to kind of jump into the business. So this is a lot of my team pictures. I'm also part of Team on Fire. Hillary Kelly, like Deb said, is my sponsored coach, so I'm directly under her. And a little bit about me. So my team name is the Determination Nation. Like I said, I've been a coach for 5 years, and I'm a 2-star diamond coach, and I opened my second business center recently when I became 2-star, and I got that up to Emerald already. Success Club has been a goal of mine since I made the decision to do this as a business. So, you know, for the first several years, I hit it on and off. I always made the 9 or 10 month commitment to earn the Success Club trip. So I have gone on, I think this will be my 5th trip coming up this year, or coming up soon in March. And I did that as a reward for my family and for, you know, just working hard in the business, but I'm about to hit Success Club Legend. So that is my number one goal in my business every single month. I'm a wife. That's my husband there in one of the pictures. We totally have changed our relationship and our marriage through health and fitness and through Beachbody. And I mean, I know that's so kind of cliche as we changed our life, right? But we really did. I mean, we really were struggling when I first started my weight loss journey. It's part of why I started my weight loss journey. I wasn't myself. I felt out of my own body. I wasn't taking care of myself. It affected our marriage. And so really, it really has truly pulled us back together. I'm also a mom to 2 boys, one in Braden. I'm also a fur baby mom. So if you hear my dog barking in the back, that's why. But I'm also here to talk to you about the fact that I work a full-time job in the pharmaceutical industry. I've been with the company. It's a small private company, but not so small. You've probably heard lots of our drug names. And I've been with the company for 16 years as a clinical scientist. I've had various positions. I worked my way up the ladder. I am the first in my family to graduate college. I'm very proud of my career, and I really enjoy running clinical trials. I feel like I can still make an impact on patient health and patients' lives, which is similar to what we're doing here in this business. So, you know, I knew deep down that making a difference in someone's life was always a passion of mine. But, you know, I'm also a full-time mom, and many of you probably work a full-time job. I can't see all of you here, but, you know, raise your hand if you're a full-time worker. I see a couple of you guys. So I hope you can relate to me. But if you're a full-time parent, which a lot of us probably are, a lot of this should apply to you as well, because we all have a lot on our plates. We're all busy. My kids play activities, soccer and baseball, and I put at the bottom there future soccer, baseball, stay-at-home mom, because it is, even though I'm proud of my career, it's always been a big dream of mine to be at home with my kids. Beachbody has definitely afforded us flexibility with our lives and our finances, and it's more impacted my husband's career than my career, because I'm the breadwinner of the family, and you know, that's just the way it is. I'm nothing against my husband, but that's just the way it is. So it's hard to step away yet from my job, but he's definitely been able to shut down his flooring business, be home a lot more with the family. Took a pay cut to do so, but my income has definitely covered us with Beachbody. So it has impacted us in those sort of ways too. But tonight I want to just share with you guys a little bit about being a Beachbody coach while working a full-time job. Many of you guys may love your jobs. Like I said, I don't mind my job, but maybe some of you guys want to make this Beachbody a full-time career, and maybe you're not happy in your job. There's definitely days where I don't enjoy it, and I haven't come across too many days being a Beachbody coach that I have dreaded. Let's just put it that way. I want to put out a few key points here just to keep in mind as we go through this presentation. Me and you and you and many of you guys on the call tonight, we're not the only people, the only coaches that work a full-time job. Many coaches in this network still work a full-time job. They come in and they have really no idea how it's going to take off for them, and they have a job. So we're not alone. And there's many coaches that have just figured it out, and you don't have to be a full-time coach to be successful. Okay? Because I'm going to share some of my, you've already seen some of my successes with my rank and the trips I've won for the family and stuff like that. You've seen that. That's success, but there's so much more to it. So really, it starts with a decision that you want to do this. You want to make a full-time career of it, even though you might be doing it part-time hours, because honestly, I work part-time hours with this. I have no choice because I have a job that I can't jeopardize. And it's just a mindset. You just got to wrap your mind around the fact that you're a business owner. And so you got to make some sacrifices and do certain things to work your business, to have it grow, but do it around your other responsibilities. And it can be done. The very first thing I did when I decided that I wanted to really make a go of this business, because I saw so many coaches out there that work a full-time job that are super successful. I mean, many coaches they're nurses, they're lawyers, I even seen some guys out there that are, either teachers or running sports, teams, and they're working a full-time job and they're making it successful. So I said, well, gee, I've already seen it happen, so why not me, right? The first thing I did was I sat my husband down and my kids, who were a lot younger then, because this was several years ago when I started working on the business, and I said, this is really important to me. First of all, my health and my own fitness journey is really important to me. How many of you guys worked out today? Raise your hand. Is it a rest day or? All right, guys, because this has to be your number one goal, actually. Above all else, you have to take care of yourself. We're going to be health and fitness coaches. We have to, walk the walk, not just talk the talk. So you have to get your workouts in. It's 8, 9 o'clock at night, depending on where you're at. You have to fit it in. That's number one. How are you going to share with people if you are not being a product of the product, right? We already know that. Let your supporters know, have a serious talk with them and let them know that this business is important to you, that you aren't just playing on Facebook and you're not just scrolling around on Instagram, but you are conducting business on social media. Not a lot of spouses get that initially. I know it's hard, and I've been through it. Even though I've been a coach for many years, I clearly remember conversations with my husband before he was officially on board, with him getting mad at me, saying, Jen, come on, it's 10 o'clock at night now. What the heck, And that's really what happens until they get it. And we don't make big paychecks the first few months. We'll start to make income, and you'll be excited about it, and you should be super proud of it. And you're being on your way. But until you make big paychecks, sometimes the supporters, they don't really get it. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. But if you have that conversation with them and you let them know, look, I'm running a challenge group online, or I'm part of a challenge group online, and I've got to get my post scheduled for the next day. If you tell them what you're doing in your business, they'll be so much more at ease when it's nighttime and you're on your phone or on your computer. So let your supporters know and figure out a schedule for yourself so they know your schedule, just like a job. They'll know your schedule and stick to that schedule. That's a tip that I have that I started doing right away so that I didn't get frustrated, my kids didn't get frustrated, and my husband didn't get frustrated. So some tricks of the trade, right? Okay, well, since I mentioned that the majority of us run our Facebook, our businesses on social media like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, we have to consistently post. If we're not in the news feed and we're not in the top of people's minds, including providing some useful tips, like Deborah is running this, posting challenge group, that is to help you guys understand the importance of putting out content into the news feed at certain times of the day. It's important, you know, because it's just like Dunkin' Donuts has advertisements on, you know, commercials and billboards. It's the same thing. How else are we supposed to get ourselves out there and our brand out there? Through social media posting. So I'm not going to get into social media and posting and what to post, but the point is that you have to schedule most of your posts. If you're working a full-time job and you're running kids around to activities in school, you have to schedule your posts. It's very, very helpful to either schedule them first thing in the morning, wake up early, set 20 minutes aside, boom, 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 get them scheduled, or do it at night. But you got to schedule to your own Facebook page, and you can do it with a scheduler that will hit up multiple social media accounts. You have to schedule to your challenge groups that you're hosting, and you should schedule to your team page if you have a team page. And here over there, you know, just to point out here, there's some graphics. This is my Facebook like page. So on my like page, I tend to use the scheduler that they offer. It's right there. It's very easy. I did it every day while I was on vacation in the morning before anybody got up. And I didn't neglect my business even when I'm on vacation, even when I'm traveling. It's super easy to do, and it's one thing to take care of, and you're still getting content out of there. I've also used Hootsuite many times in the past. This is an example of Hootsuite. I know it's small and you can't really see it, but you can connect many social media networks in Hootsuite, and you can post whatever you need to post, and it goes out to everything all at once. There's other apps like Laterbro and Post Planner and CodeTweet, and you can Google them because there's many, many options out there. Some of them only post to like Twitter and, you know, certain accounts, and others post to other accounts. But Hootsuite, for the most part, now covers Instagram even. That's really your best bet. And if you have a lot of social media accounts and a lot of things to post to different groups, you can easily buy one of their packages and have that option. And it's a business expense that's well worth it for you that are limited on your time, right? Because our time is very precious, and we need to just be very efficient by posting, scheduling. Another thing that this is not my office, clearly, but this is, I would love for it to one day be my office. This is just an example of getting yourself organized, having a space. If you're going to treat your business like a business, then have business things, right? Whether it be, I'm a notebook person for sure. I have notebooks here all the time next to me, right next to me. My iPhone and my voice memo and my calendar are like my godsend, and they're with me all the time. My laptop, I'll show you on the next slide what my laptop actually looks like. Google Drive is what I use for anytime I'm going to put together something for my team or for myself, and I want to have it saved. Save it on a Google Drive. Set up a Google Drive. It's free, and you'll be able to access it anywhere. Anytime you can, guys, multitask. You got to become the queens and kings of multitasking, because that's the way you got to get things done. Now, when you're a new coach, you don't have so many things going on. But as you progress in your coaching business, gets bigger and bigger and bigger, there'll become more things to do. What I recommend for everyone is to use a to-do list. This is a power hour to-do list. And I think Deborah can post this on her page at after the meeting. This is the basics, okay? And I'm going to say this once or twice tonight. Master the basics. Don't get overwhelmed with all the things that you want to do. Just master the basics for now. These are the basics. You have to be adding people to your network. You have to be inviting people to your next challenge group. You have to be sharing your journey and sharing inspiration and motivation for people. And you have to invite people to the business. These are the basics. These are vital behaviors. And how do you do that? Well, it's all listed here. Okay. You got to post, you got to plug in, you got to connect. If you print this power hour to-do list and you have a set schedule, remember, because you're going to do that, and you're getting yourself organized, post this power hour to-do list, and this is where you focus. because many times, new coaches and even seasoned coaches come back to me and they say, I just don't know what to do. I'm just not sure where to begin. And I always give them this. I said, this is a simple list. Work from this list. Do it every day. Just do it every day. And if you do it every day, you'll hit Success Club. You'll grow your business. You will. It takes time and it takes consistently, but these are the things that coaches do every day. So work from a list, especially because we don't have a lot of time. I'm going to say that again too. And don't waste your precious time, guys, by scrolling and doing stuff that are just going to suck up your precious time. I did that many times. Don't get me wrong. Many times I'd be like, an hour would go by and be like, crap, I didn't do anything. And I just looked at everybody's pictures right now. And it was fun. And I still do it every once in a while because it's fun. But when you have things to do for your business and you really want to grow your business and you're serious about it, try to remember not to waste your time. If you're sitting there going, this doesn't really relate to the business, I shouldn't be doing it. I know it's a sacrifice. And I've had to make a lot of sacrifices like TV time and going out and things like that. But this is really important to me. So don't waste your precious time. Multitask, meaning if you're sitting at a kid's baseball game or soccer game or you're on your lunch break at work, get some things done. Whatever you can get done, get them done. Get them off your plate. And then have your power hour for the majority of your business. Always have a goal in mind from the very beginning of deciding you're going to work the business. Have monthly goals. What needs to be on your monthly goal? Success Club has to be a monthly goal. If you want to grow your business, I'm just saying, only if you want to grow your business, because it's grown mine. And I'm not a rock star coach. I'm not growing my business fast and furious. I'm steady. And I see income growth year after year, and it makes me proud and it makes me happy, and I'm fine with that. So you have to determine what your goals are going to be. But Success Club should be on it. Whether it's Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, that's really your decision. But Success Club is going to keep giving you residual income, customers, challengers, people getting results. You're going to get more income. You can earn trips. So that's why it's really important. I have my goals. I have a little chalkboard. This is on my wall. It's like a little chalkboard I can erase, and I stick my goals up there. And, just keep it simple. Try not to overwhelm yourself. Again, I always put master the basics. You can get very overwhelmed when you have limited time. And you can come home and be exhausted from a day of work and have so much going on with the kids, and you don't want to do the business. So do the minimum that night. Just do the minimum. Even if you do a little that night and not your whole to-do list, it's better than nothing. It keeps the momentum going. And another thing is that if you absolutely don't have time one night, then buckle down over the weekend and bang it out then. Your hours are up to you. Just remember that. You're the CEO of your business, so you decide. But my advice is just don't let days go by and do nothing, because then you're going to feel like doing nothing. You want to keep your inbox moving, right? You want to keep getting messages from people. And the way you do that is just keep focusing on the basics, which is part of that power hour list. Everything in this business can be learned. I promise. You can learn it. You have an awesome mentor. Deb is a rock star coach, and she's been elite for many years. She's consistently grown. She's super smart, and she provides a lot for your team. So learn from her, and everything that she has learned, you can learn as well. Everything I've learned, you can learn. This is my desktop on my computer. I'm kind of type A. So I folder everything. I have folders for challenge packs and challenge groups and sneak peeks and business documents and, you name it. I put it in a folder so I know where to find it. If you want to do that as well. Organize your desktop like that. At the bottom of my desktop, I have 3 words: focus, focus, focus. Because we can get distracted so easily. So keep learning the basics, and just know that everything can be learned. For now, follow the systems that are created for you by your team. Just for now. You might be like, oh, I want to recreate the sneak peek, and I want to recreate. Don't worry about that right now. You don't have that much time. So utilize your team open houses and utilize your team business opportunities. That's why Deborah's putting her time into it for you guys. And you should be so lucky and thankful for that, because honestly, I've talked to many coaches that don't get that, and they have to create it. So for now, while you're growing your big team and you're growing your big business, lean on Team Dare to Dream and all the leaders there that are doing this stuff for you. Listen to the playbacks of calls. Live calls, they're not my friend. The ones during the day that aren't anyways, because I can't get on. Usually I'm on a meeting or whatever. So they're not my friend, but listen to the playbacks. Plus you can do the MP3, you can pause it, you can put your earbuds in, you can multitask. And as far as personal development goes, I lean on audiobooks a lot, because sitting and reading an actual book, not my friend. Doesn't happen. Very rare. Very rare. I do love books. I love to highlight, but I'm going to be honest, it doesn't often happen. I listen to a lot in the car. I listen to a lot as I'm doing house cleaning. I listen to stuff like, while my kids are warming up at sports. Another tip, get a success partner. I know Deborah and I don't work too much together, but when we did, it was so helpful. It was so nice to have someone back you up and run a group together and, share ideas with and help move you forward and help hold you accountable, to be honest, right? That's what success partners are there for. They're really to be like, so what's your goal this month? And are you going to hit it? And it helps. So find someone maybe that is like you, that is kind of at the same pace as you, and ask them to partner up and meet on a weekly basis, or at least text, again, because I know we don't want to have long emails, but find someone you're compatible with and partner up with someone. And another thing that has really helped me a lot is wear and share. Just because I'm always out and about at my kids' school, or I'm a mom, so I'm always at kids' schools and sporting events. That's just my gig, and whatever your gig is for you, wear and share is really useful, because I've gotten so many comments from people from hats and shirts like Insanity. I wear like the popular brands too, right? Insanity, P90X, you're a P90X coach, and you get questions, and that's how you meet new people there too. Just some friendly advice. I'm just saying, most likely don't friend your coworkers. And really, I don't share much of Beachbody at my job. I just don't, because I have not gotten in trouble, but I've gotten questioned about what I do in a way where it made me feel like they were either just questioning if I was getting my job done, or they could have been envious, they could have been curious, I don't know, but I didn't like the feeling, and I decided years ago that I just was going to leave my job as my job and leave it out. There's plenty more people to meet. You do not have to, I know you want to help your coworkers, we want to help everyone, but you don't have to go there, because it's just going to make things awkward and uncomfortable when someone gets envious or jealous or whatever the case may be and wants to, have a demise at work with you or something. And think about what you need to say no to. At work and personally, we can't handle everything on our plate. So there's been things at work. I used to be a real go-getter at work. And I'm not so much anymore, but that's okay, because I have to I have to split myself up now, right? And I want to be good at both things. So I don't take on so much at work anymore. I do what I need to do and I get my job done, but think about what you need to say no to at a personal level as well. And if you are concerned about posting on your Facebook personal page during work hours, I had that concern. I started a like page for that reason, and I schedule my posts. And this way, if you are ever asked, you could say, well, I use a business page and I schedule it. I'm not on Facebook during the day. And so what I do is in the morning, I post in the morning on my personal page, and I post after 5 p.m. on my personal page. And on my like page, I have 4 or 5 posts scheduled and going. And then this way, it's not an issue, right? It's no big deal. You've got yourself covered. But don't be afraid, guys, of this business and doing it with a full-time job, because if this is your dream, and if this is your passion and this is something you're very interested in, then it's your life and you should do it. And there shouldn't be anything that holds you back. Don't compare yourself to other coaches. You know, I've posted this in Team on Fire recently with the Team Cup Challenge about just putting your blinders on and doing your own work and focusing on your own journey and your own personal story, because we all have our own personal stories. I could sit there and go, well, gee, Christina Delgado, she was a full-time worker and she quit her job and she's blah, blah, blah. I could do that. I probably have, I'm not going to lie, but I don't do it. I don't do it often. If I go to that place, I quickly say, you know what, Jen, you don't know. You just don't know her. You just don't know her story. You don't know what she's like, and she doesn't know you. And we're two completely different people, and we cannot compare ourselves to other Beachbody coaches, right? So run your own race. Do your own thing, create your own hours, do what you can. But if you have big goals and big dreams, you know, with this business, then just don't be afraid to really go after it and figure it out. I've often asked this question. So, well, when are you going to be a full-time coach? You know, like, what's holding you back? Well, in my opinion, for me, and again, it all depends on your own situation, but if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, I haven't yet had a problem doing both things and growing. Granted, I've probably grown at a slower pace than I've wanted to, but I'm completely content with the way I've grown it and the income I'm making on both ends, right? Because I bring in a full-time income and I bring in a heck of a Beachbody income for doing it part-time. So you really need to consider that you're covering your full-time, real job income and then some. I would give it at least, once you hit that goal, so figure out your goal, and once you hit that goal, I'd give it a month or 2. And make sure it's not a fluke, make sure you're steady state, make sure that, because we have up and down months in this business, make sure you've got yourself covered. You're covering your benefits, you're covering your 401k, because there's a lot of stuff with a regular job that you would have to really consider. And then you just need to obviously make sure your supporters are on board with your idea. And it all depends on your own situation. So here's the bottom line. Probably really hard to see this. This is my income growth over 5 years. I can hardly even see it. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger for you guys. Okay, here's the bottom line. It is doable. It is. You gotta want it, right? You gotta own it. It's your business. It's gonna be hard work. It's going to take time, so you have to have that never give up attitude. If you give it a year and you say, shoot, okay, here we go. If you give it a year, and this is monthly, so I just picked July because I just got, obviously July's income. And if you pick July and say, well, $700, this was 5 years ago, guys, come on. That's like a car or 2. If you're not happy with that and you're working your full-time job, I don't know what to tell you, but give it time. Give it time. Make yourself a goal and just keep working towards it. Every year you're going to see an increase. Every year you're going to see a bump up. So, maybe you won't be able to quit your full-time job, but maybe your husband will, like mine did, right? Maybe he'll be able to take less hours. Maybe you can get that nanny at home that you always wanted instead of daycare, or you can figure it out. You just got to think about it, and everybody has their own situation. Just embrace it. This is your life, and it is so worth it. So what you do today improves tomorrow, and it's a trickle-down effect. It keeps going and going and going as long as you stick to it and you are consistent. And that's all I have to share. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you. It was incredibly helpful. Do you have time for a couple of questions?
Sure. I don't know if you have a 40-minute limit, or are you open?
No, I'm open.
Okay, good.
So let's go ahead and there we go. So I know that there was some conversation in the chat about the job thing and, being cognizant of what you do with your coworkers. And I had commented, I had the same situation. And I think, like Gabriel commented that she's in sales. So she kind of works unsupervised a lot. So I think you're that way too, Jen. So that's something you have to be careful with, because you don't want your boss to be thinking, well, she seems to be spending a lot of time on Facebook doing this Beachbody stuff.
Right.
And I know for me, I was in management. So like I said, I mean, any other person could go in and put their Avon catalogs and their Mary Kay and their Pampered Chef in the lunchroom. But I couldn't do that with Shakeology and stuff like that. So that's a really good point about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, and I was just going to say, don't ever use your work computer. I mean, I know you guys are smarter than that, but just don't, because that's going to set you up for issues. So if you're going to do things on the side during the day, which of course we all do. I mean, even non-Beachbody coaches do it, right? I mean, everybody checks their email and Facebook. It's just a normal thing these days. Yeah. Just do it from your phone. And, don't do it during meetings. These are all common sense things though, so.
Yeah. I think you mentioned about focus too. I was listening to a Shalene podcast the other day, and she mentioned that she puts a fortress around her focus. And I just loved that. And I love how you put that on the bottom of your screen as well, because the scrolling around on Facebook is something that we can all do. And it's really kind of interesting because like today, I'll have people say to me, oh, didn't you see that on Facebook? Or did you see my post? And and even people, and I'm like, no, I didn't, because I try not to scroll. Now I do take a portion of my power hour time, or maybe even after I finish my power hour and I have a little bit of extra time, and I will purposefully scroll my news feed and posts and comments, so that, again, like we've talked about, you can build relationships and people know that you're there, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that's definitely that's always a hard thing to get under control. So I think having that reminder, focus is really important. Does anybody have a question? I don't want to just take up all. You can type it in the chat too if you're shy, don't want to say anything. I know we have, raise your hands now that we can see you. Who is working a full-time job and working on their business?
Yeah.
Everybody.
It's so common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have a question here. Oh, there we go. Everybody. So does anybody else have anything else to add? I think that what Jen said too is really important about success partners. And if that's a new concept to you, then this is a great place to meet some people. You can certainly post in Team Dare to Dream that you're looking for a success partner. You can post in Team on Fire if you want. If you want to go into there, it's a really, really big group, so you have a lot of options. You can do like I did and ask my sponsor for a recommendation. Sometimes they'll have one, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll just go into a group and throw your name out and say, who wants to take her on? And, and who knows?
I might even have coaches that we can partner up. So,
well, I think it's important to point out too that you're going to have many success partners over the course of your career as a coach. Right. And so you have to find one that, like Jen said, meets you where you're at today. And you don't want just a yes person. And you don't want a commiserator. You know what I mean by that? That means it's not somebody that you're gonna, oh man, I'm missed success. Oh, I know, me too. That just sucks. And all that customer service and all that Deb, she didn't give us any more what to post. I know, doesn't that suck? That's a commiserator. You don't want a fellow whiner. You want someone that's gonna say, okay, suck it up. You own your business. That's what we're always told. And that's going to say, hey, you said you were going to invite 20 people yesterday. Did you? Well, no. Well, how come? So I recommend that you interview your success partners. Didn't we interview each other, Jen? Didn't we get on and say, hey, this is who we are? And, get a feel for them and tell them this is what I need. This is what I'm struggling with. And this is what I want out of my success partner. Tell them what you want them to do. And that can be kind of hard if you're, still a new coach, but some of you that are diamonds and have been around for a while, that's what you need to be doing for sure. I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was. Can't remember. Oh, well. Let's see. We have one more question. Yeah. So, well, let's start a thread in our Team Dare to Dream page about success partners, and we can see what we can match up. But I really recommend that you guys, like I said, you pick people. I mean, if you're like me, you have already noticed coaches in Team Dare to Dream that have sparked your interest, that you say, oh, I think she's really cool. I like the way she works. She seems like, the kind of person I could get along with. You've probably already noticed some people like that. So don't hesitate to just ask. The other thing I was going to mention is learning from other people. I mean, Jen mentioned about our team, but you learn all the time from other coaches. I mean, Jen, just like now, I mean, swapping calls, swapping team information, Google. I mean, I am a huge proponent of Google, and it does not hurt my feelings at all if you go out and you find a coach that has a way of doing their, scripts that you really, really like, and it's like different than mine. I mean, that is not a problem. We all are eventually going to make things our own, right? But Jen's point is you don't have to start from scratch.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to create the wheel, any of you, and you don't have to do that till you're ready. I mean, I know I got to a point, and Jen and I think we started doing that when we were partners. We started creating training content, and we teamed up together because we had been using, stuff that was out there, and we said, we're kind of, wanting to do something different. So we collaborated and we came up with something, but we certainly didn't do that until, we felt like we were ready to do that.
Exactly.
So, well, I know it's getting late for you East Coasters, but I really, really appreciate you coming on the call. I can't wait to see you soon in our next tropical location. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for getting on. I'm so glad to see that our numbers are rising on this call. Yeah, it's just so important to bring you other voices than my own. So.
And kudos to everybody on the call, because most of you guys, like you just raised your hand, are full-time job, and that's awesome. I really think that's a great way to do it. So good job.
Yeah. And I was going to say one more thing. I mean, the big difference between what you're doing and somebody else, I mean, there's a lot of I have to tell you a story. So I was looking at my Time Hop, do you have the little Time Hop app? Yeah. And it time hopped to a year ago, and I had done a welcome post for the new coaches on my team. And I think for the month of July maybe. And there was like 7. Guess how many are still coaches?
What? None?
0. Every single coach most of the time you have a very similar goal. You want to focus on your own fitness. You want to use that for more accountability. You really, really could use some extra income in your life, right? It would mean a lot. You have a vision for, not having to work 2 jobs, or not having to, put your baby in daycare when it's time to go back to work after maternity. I mean, every coach starts out with some kind of a vision, some kind of a desire. But what makes the difference between the people that quit and the people that keep going is that you guys are willing to do what the others aren't willing to do. And that is come home after a long day at work and do some more work, right? And to get on a training call, even though it's late and we are missing Big Brother right now as we speak, but it is being DVR'd, so thank goodness for that. Even though in 15 minutes I have to leave and go do a football thing. I mean, you are doing things because, like Jen said, you're making sacrifices. And it's fun. I mean, it's fun stuff, but sometimes you're still just tired, and you just really just want to go to bed. But that's how come, I mean, because you are keeping your vision in sight. When people, for me, when I see a coach that signs up and then, you know, they tell me their why, and I would just get so, be struck to tears by some of the stories that you guys tell me. Because I know how much you need this, whether you need the positivity in your life, you need the income, you need the health, you need the community, you need the friendships, whatever it is that you need it. And it's so important. And when I see people that I see them giving up on that, that's what, when I see somebody quit coaching, I kind of see them giving up on that, because 9 times out of 10, they don't have another plan for achieving what they said they want.
Right.
And that's what makes me really, really sad. And that's the way 80-90% of our country is, right, Jen? Mm-hmm. We're the 10%ers, the 2%ers. Most people are going to settle. They're not going to dream bigger than they think they can ever achieve. They're going to downsize what they want out of life. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's okay for some people, you know, but I really believe, I've learned as a Beachbody coach in particular, that we were meant to be our best selves and we were meant to excel. And, you know, that's the way God created us. He didn't create us. God did not create mediocrity, right? So I am really passionate about that. So you'll hear me talk about that a lot, but I really believe that. And so that's how you're going to be here on my time hop next year. I expect to see everybody. Now, what's really fun is when I see time hops and I see, you know, emerald, and then I see now that you're a diamond, and I'm like, yay, they time hopped in there. So be that person. So I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining us, Jen. I know it's late, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Good night, guys.
Bye-bye.